What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Ask Alex, where this is the show where we take your questions and answer them here on this show. I'm your host, Alex Hampton, and today we have a very jam-packed show for you guys today. A lot of cool things to dive into, and also a couple entanglements to jump into as well. So I can't wait to hop into these topics as well. I got my co-host with me, Ian Elliott Carter. How are you doing today, Ian?
An entanglement? I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good.
And also we got our other co-host with us, Jeremy Branch. How are you doing today, Jeremy?
Stone cold chilling, man. Happy to be back. It's been a week since the last time I did a show with you guys, so welcome back to me.
Awesome. Awesome. And yeah, I can't wait to dive in this show today, guys. A lot of cool things have come out, but if this is your very first time ever watching this show, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Then hit that bell right next to it. That way you get all the notifications every time I'm releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. And if you want to go ahead and hit that like button as well, that way our videos stay in the algorithm. That way you get to see all the different topics that we release here on our channel. And also, if you want your topic or question on this show, all you have to do is just send me an email at the AskAlexShow@gmail.com. That's the AskAlexShow@gmail.com. If you send your topic or question during this time where we're all at home, I'll be more than happy to answer it here on my show. So now that we've gotten that out the way, you guys, let's go ahead and jump into the first question of the day. And the first question comes from a Calvin Harris. And he writes, "Hey crew, I'm confused that the Matt Reeves Batman movie is taking place outside of the DCEU, and it will have its own TV spinoff called Gotham PD. What the hell is Warner Brothers doing? I mean, Will and Jada's relationship makes more sense than how the studio handles its characters. Should Warner Brothers give up on the DCEU?" Thank you for your question, Calvin. I'm not gonna lie, Calvin, when you sent this question, I died laughing because I was like, wow. If you want to talk about a real entanglement, the DCEU's been an entanglement for years. None of the shit that they do makes any sense. But, you know, I'm glad that you asked that question because it was recently announced that Gotham PD was going to be a spin-off show to the Batman on their HBO Max app. And in that show, it's going to be a prequel to the events of what happens in the Batman movie. The issue that I have with that is that, okay, they did like 4 or 5 seasons called Gotham on Fox. Yeah. So I don't know how deep you're going to dive into the lore of Batman. They're doing a Gotham PD show when they've already did a Gotham show. And I watched Gotham. I didn't watch all of it because I thought it was trash for the most part. I think the last season was actually their best season according to the people I've talked to. But I just don't understand this spinoff. I'm a huge fan of Matt Reeves. I think he's a talented director. And apparently he's going to be behind this show. And I'm even excited for the Batman movie to a certain extent. But honestly, you're absolutely right. Jada and Will's relationship makes a little bit more sense in comparison to these characters. Because I don't know. You know, when you look at the DCEU, it doesn't make sense. We've even said on the show, like, where is this Batman movie taking place? Is it taking place, you know, in the DCEU? Is it taking place outside of the DCEU? What year is it going to be? We just don't know. So yeah, a lot of the stuff I think they should do is align like what their characters are going to be. And not only that, is there still even a DCEU? You know, like Birds of Prey was the first movie that was rated R in the DCEU, which didn't really fit the tone of any of the characters that they have in their universe. So again, honestly, I don't know what they're planning on doing. So Jeremy, you heard this news about Gotham PD coming out. Do you think that this would be a great addition to this Batman series, whatever they're choosing to do with this DCEU?
Calvin Harris, the Scottish DJ, Calvin Harris, because throwing shade like that with the question, I thought this might be Curtis Jackson that emailed us this question. But yeah, I think that's Pretty good joke that you made there, and tied it into the topic very well. You know, we've kind of always operated under the assumption that they were going to build a cinematic universe over at Warner Brothers. I think that was the intention at first, and it might still be the intention, but as you mentioned, it's all over the place. We've got at least the Zack Snyder timeline. We've got the Joker timeline, which takes place before all of the stuff going on. I think Shazam takes place in that main DCEU timeline. So does Birds of Prey. So does Aquaman. But this new Batman, Matt Reeves thing, is not going to take place in that universe. I don't think it's confirmed whether or not it's going to take place in the Joker universe. But in my mind, this Batman movie is going to be more similar to that Joker movie than it's going to be to Batman versus Superman, which I'm super cool with. I like the idea of a very stripped-down, naturalistic approach to Batman. That's why the Nolan movies worked so well. There's no supernatural elements. There's no superheroes for Batman to compete with. I feel like Batman works the best on his own. That means no Robin, no Bat Family, no Superman, none of that stuff. Just give me a straight Batman movie, and I could be really into that. I love that character. I definitely hear where you're coming from, Alex, with the comparison to Gotham. I mean, that was a television show about the Gotham City PD. The tone, again, fantastical, weird, just like it's like wonky, kind of like Tim Burton's Batman. Just a weird, different style. And what I'm envisioning for this Matt Reeves Batman Gotham PD show is something more akin to what we heard about Sam and Twitch, that are the police detectives from the Spawn series, very heavily influenced by all of the kind of noir elements of DC's Batman. So I feel like we might get a procedural cop thriller that's much more grounded, much more built or set in our reality, and then less of the wonky Batman tie-ins. Like Jerome was a weird character. The way they did, I liked some of Gotham for its visual aesthetic, but the storytelling was just weird. I wasn't a fan of it. We watched a little bit, but yeah, it didn't go very long. Oh, and to tie this all back around, who stars in Gotham as a character?
You were gonna take my
Jada Pinkett Smith.
You took my joke, bro.
I forgot about that.
I was waiting to say it.
Oh man, listen, I can't even top that. Ian, please, what do you think about what's going on?
Jeremy, you are a genius, because I was actually going to say that too. I was like, this all ties to Jada Pinkett Smith. It's all her fault. Good one. So my thoughts on this. It's actually more positive than negative. I am going to get to a little bit negative. I'll just start with the positive, though. I do like the fact that maybe it seems like they're slowly tying away from the cinematic universe. It is confusing, though. If you've not, like, pretty much made this, like, conference and made it clear, like, look, our DC movies are not all connected, then some people that are not the casual viewer like us are going to be like, what is going on? Who is this Batman? Who is this Joker? You know, who is everything? It doesn't make any sense when you've already established you trying to do a cinematic universe in the past. Of course, they got the DCEU that does have Shazam. It does have the Birds of Prey. They're connected to, like, the Batman vs. Superman universe. But, of course, we have the Joker one and this new Batman one that are not connected to it. But, yeah, like I said, if you've not made it clear that they're not, some people will be confused, and that's understandable. But I do, for myself, I do like the fact that they are slowly doing movies that are not in the universe, because they just don't know how to do it. I made it clear many times on this show that they're just not doing it well, so just focus on making a good story instead of making it all connect. Then you will succeed. I feel like this is the right way to go when it comes to bringing an audience, not just bringing an audience, but just good storytelling. And Matt Reeves is a great storyteller, as we saw with the Planet of the Apes franchise. The negative I'm gonna get to, though, like, it's this TV show. I'm not feeling this either. It's like saying, hey, it's like Marvel saying, hey, we're going to introduce this new show. It's called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you're like, what? We've seen this show. We know what it is. What are you talking about? Oh, but it's not in the same universe. come on, man. It just, I don't know. It just seems like a easy cash grab. Maybe, Matt Reeves has a good plan to expand his personal universe to make it make sense. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, it just seems like a overkill for the Batman universe, and I just want to see more original stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an Alfred show that just now came out as well? Pennyworth or something like that?
Yeah.
I never saw an episode of it. Is it good? Anybody seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
So much Batman content, and they just keep on coming with it. So, all right.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, there's so much Batman content that honestly it doesn't necessarily make sense to me. I do like what Matt Reeves has been doing with the character and how they're developing the character. Not a fan of the suit, but also I wasn't too much of a fan of the actor. But at the same time, like, I get it. I get that they're trying to build a different type of universe, but like I said, there's just so many things, so many moving parts that are so convoluted and it doesn't make sense. But what do you guys think? Do you think that the DCEU is an entanglement? Is Jada Pinkett Smith really behind all of this shit? Now that I think about it, Will Smith was Deadshot. That's probably why he's not Deadshot anymore. So at the end of the day, this could be all her fault. Who knows? Just jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Let's go ahead and jump into the next question, which comes from a Johnny Williams. And he writes, "Hey Alex, so Ludacris did an interview, and in that interview he alluded to that Fast and the Furious will travel to space. How insane do you think that Fast 9 will be once it comes out?" Well, thank you for your question, Johnny. So what Johnny's alluding to, I think over this past weekend, like a few days ago, he was being interviewed about the movie, and he didn't necessarily say verbatim that they're going into space, but he did allude to it. And listen, if anyone who's seen the Fast and Furious franchise, I am a fan of the franchise. I like all of the movies. Well, not all of them, except for maybe Tokyo Drift, but I like majority of the movies, and I really do enjoy those characters. My thing is that they went insane. Where they went insane is that in that trailer, they put a fucking rocket engine on a car. Like that, I was like, what the hell is going on? In the last movie, ironically, in Fast 8, cars are running away from a submarine missile on ice. Like that, to me, I'm like, okay, they're really pushing the element of physics and all this other stuff. So I don't think they can go insane by going into space. Now that I think about it, I saw a meme where, the only people that the Fast 9 crew have in fault are the Avengers. And honestly, if Universal and Marvel want to do a deal, I'll be more than happy to watch that type of movie. I do think though, if they're going to go to space, I want to know what's the narrative. Like, why are they going to space? Like, what are they doing for them to be into space? That's my whole thing about it. Just don't go to space just because it's just dumb fun. But also you got to keep in mind, like Fast 9, there is a story thread for it throughout the movies, but it isn't a story that's like the DCEU story or like the MCU story where each individual film is more compelling than the other. I will say that the Fast movies are compelling, but I watch them solely because of the ridiculous action, not so much of, Vin Diesel walking around like family, loved ones, brothers. Like I personally really don't care about that. I just like the cars. But Ian, you saw this news. What do you think about Fast 9 potentially going to space?
Well, honestly, it doesn't surprise me either, bro. Like, I like you. I don't hate the Fast franchise. It's just like a car wreck where you just like, oh man, what are you doing? But you can't stop watching. I literally go to every showing every time. I'm there the first day of it. Mm-hmm. My favorite one personally is Fast 5. I think that one actually had ridiculous action, but actually a compelling story, and it brought everybody together like an Avengers story. Yeah. I thought it was good. But come on, man. That's one of those movies you just got to take your brain out and just have a good time. Dom rolled down a hill literally said family and his arm was healed, and he just went back to he just went back to work. They've gone through buildings. They're driving cars. How do you even get the speed to go through a building, inside of a building? And never mind. This is why you should not analyze this too much. So yes, as soon as they started dodging submarines and Dom flew in the air, catching Letty in the air, of course you're going to go to space. And you know what's going to be the theme of that? Family. Some people going to take their baby and find them on the moon, and they're going to have to come together one last time, because they like to say that in their posters, one last ride. And they're going to go to space, and they're going to figure it all out. I don't know how it's going to be and how it's going to work out, but I will be there to watch it. You know why? Because I sometimes just need a break from reality to enjoy ridiculous stuff like that. So, yeah, we can make fun of it all day. I will. But you know what? The Fast franchise is up there with Star Wars, and it's up there with the Marvel movies when it comes to, like, bringing in cash. And what's Universal? That's Universal's franchise. You know, Disney has theirs. Universal has theirs. And if it works for them, I can't even hate. If we're going to continue to go see these movies, we're going to have to start figuring something out. That's their mindset.
Yeah, and actually, Ian makes a really good point, because now that I think about it, outside of anything that's Star Wars or comic book related, the Fast and Furious franchise is $1 billion franchise. The 6th, 7th, and the 8th movie, all three of those movies made $1 billion. And this movie that's coming out is projected to hit that same amount of money. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you do have to turn your brain off. But Jeremy, you heard this news. Are you surprised that the Fast crew may be going into space in Fast 9?
No, I'm not. It's interesting, and I want to circle back around to what I think is so fascinating about this. But yeah, as you mentioned, Ludacris was doing an interview on some sort of podcast over Zoom, similar to what we're doing right now, and it was actually the interviewer, that asked basically, "Are you going to go to space? Because y'all are raising the stakes every time." And he didn't say it, but he alluded to it.
That was a good one.
Thank you very much. I had a second.
I'm going to kick you off of that one.
Yes, Fast and the Furious, in the tradition of such fantastic franchises as Jason, Hellraiser, and Leprechaun, Furious is going to join all of those in space, which, I mean, yeah, what else do you do at this point? Alex, I think you nailed it when you said people don't typically watch these movies because of the story and the thing that ties them all together. They're spectacle movies. They've got a cool cast. They've got good music, dope cars, crazy action set pieces. It's eye candy to me. I'm not a big fan of them. If you ask me, the best thing that could happen to the Fast, or the best thing that did happen to the Furious franchise, was Paul Walker dying, which is kind of a terrible thing to say, but wow. I actually love Furious 7, and that was the only one. That was the only one out of them, and I think it's because behind the scenes, dude died. So when I watched it, I was like, man, this is like really hitting me in the feels. Other than that, I feel nothing. Like, pretty dead inside. So, anyways, yeah, I think what's fascinating about this, and I'm really curious, is I've heard this rumor for like years. I've heard Roth Cornett, specifically on Screen Junkies, say it. I've heard many of the people on Screen Junkies say it. I heard some of the people at Collider say it. So what my question is do we really have screenwriters anymore, or is there just like some computer program that feeds how many times movie critics and pundits say shit through some sort of machine, and it just generates stories and movies out of that? Because this feels like a fan fiction that was written by the entertainment industry years before Universal got their hands on it and decided that they were actually going to produce it. Because I guarantee if you were to ask somebody what the most popular theory for the next Fast movie was going to be, they would say that they were going to end up in space. Am I alone in saying this? Do you guys remember hearing this for a long time?
I remember hearing it on the panel a couple of times too. It's definitely been the ongoing joke, so I've heard it before. I will say this though, if anyone wants to cancel Jeremy for saying that Paul Walker thing, I'm with you.
Yeah, I knew I was going to get it for that.
Listen, I've heard that too. By the way, I do not condone those comments at all. I'm kidding. But at the end of the day, but no, I've heard that. My thing is that I take it back to the history of Fast and Furious. Originally it was supposed to be a street racing movie. It wasn't really until like Fast 4 when they started doing more heist elements, and then Fast 5, like Ian said, it was literally the Avengers coming from all these different movies. It's funny because they're coming from all these different movies, but Han died in Tokyo Drift, and they made Fast and Furious 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 prequels to Tokyo Drift, and then Fast 8 was like what's going on currently now in 2018 when it came out, and then now in 2019 Han's alive. What the hell? Like, so yeah, so I agree that I do believe that there is a lot of just throwing some stuff on the wall and seeing what sticks. And I really do think that also keep in mind, like, I don't believe that the directors don't have to do much in regards to directing these films, because again, majority of it is just explosions, cars, and women. Exactly. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Fast and Furious crew would be insane to go in space? Do you think that they're just doing something totally different and crazy? Just jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And let's go ahead and jump into the last question. I'm sorry, my phone keeps freezing on me. My last question comes from a Lisa Michaels. And she writes, "Hey Alex, in your opinion, is it easier to create your own content or making content for another company? Which one do you prefer to do?" All right. Well, thank you for your question, Lisa. I'm gonna just be honest. If I had to choose, obviously it would be making my own content. But I would rather. I would do that first, but I would rather do both. When I talk about creating content, I look at the, and I know we talk about him a lot, but I look at the John Campion model. While John Campion was doing his movie blog, AMC reached out to him to do a show for AMC. And then while doing AMC, he still did his own thing. Same thing when he went to Collider. When he did Collider, he had an after show at the stream called the Arrow After Show on his channel. So he was still building his own content in his name while still being at these different outlets. For me, I collaborate with these guys, I collaborate with other people, but we all individually make our own content. And I think it's great to make content for others and more so for yourself, because at the end of the day, you own it. Like, it's yours. Nobody can take it away from you. That's just my experience. I'm gonna pass this on to Jeremy. Jeremy, you've been making content for a lot. You have literally a catalog of stuff as well. Which one do you prefer to do? Making your own content or making content for a different company?
I think there are, as you said, pros and cons to both. Mm-hmm. And it's a very good question for anybody that's considering getting into this. Mm-hmm. Making your own content is fantastic. You have the freedom to make off-color Paul Walker jokes, and you are accountable to no one. Mm-hmm. When you go and you collaborate with other people, when you work for other companies, all of a sudden you have to work within their structure. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that you don't overstep boundaries and things like that. I have not done a lot of work on payroll for other companies, but I have published movie reviews and written blog posts and things like that. And truthfully, the relationships I had with the people that had hired me for it, they kind of gave me full reign. But I will say, one of the absolute advantages about working for other people, especially if you're an on-camera talent, mm-hmm. is you go in, you record, and you dip. And they get to handle the crappy side of it, and I have fun editing, but it's a lot of work. You spend my Saturdays and Sundays, I probably spend realistically about 12 to 15 hours in my studio editing stuff for the week. And that's a schedule that is trying. It prevents me from being able to be on camera a whole lot more. Plus, my plate's just kind of full as it is. So if you are able to build your own brand and your own company to the point where you're able to hire on employees, that's the end game. That's where I would like to see myself within the next year. But for now, I really do like the creative freedom and the ability to express myself in any way that I feel like at that particular moment as my own entity and my own content creator. So I love the convenience of collaborating. I love hearing other people's thoughts and ideas and all of that kind of stuff. But as far as where I'm the most comfortable, it's just doing my own thing.
Yeah, and I agree. I know as a content creator myself, I spend like after this video, I'm going to spend maybe 6 to 8 hours editing, and it can be hell. Like it can really be hell because you know, and it's not just necessarily because it's a bad process. It's just like you're literally sitting waiting for your video to render. Like, and it's like, what the hell? Like, I could be doing something else, but you know, there's pros and cons for either. Ian, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer making your own content or making content for another company? Because I know you have a laundry list of content on your channel as well.
Oh, well, of course, I'm going to go with the obvious answer. I prefer working for myself. I prefer, like, my own vision because I feel like my head is very hard to understand. So only I can tell my vision.
Agreed.
And, of course, yeah. So that'd be my answer with that. But I will say this, though. I do also love the collaborations that we do. It forces me to be a little bit more creative. Like, as much as I love doing stuff for my channel and whatever comes to mind, I do it. I feel like collaborating with others or doing work for other people, it does push me to be more creative just because I don't know their vision, and it paints these different roads I have to go on. Like, this works for them, and they know, okay, I got another road I can go on, or I got another road to go on. And there's been times where I needed people to help me with my vision. For example, I've used Jeremy. There was this video I did a long time ago when I interviewed Andy Signor. I suck at sound. Sound is one of the worst things for me. I'm good with the visuals and I'm good with the voice, but when it comes to sound, I need a lot of practice. I'm self-aware of that, and Jeremy helped me with that. If it wasn't for my connection with him, the video would have been terrible. That's why it's great to collaborate with people. That's why it's great to make friends in this business, is because you might need each other. Not saying that you need to use people for your advantage, because if you're going to need something, like if I'm going to need something from Jeremy one day is going to need something from me, then I can hopefully help with it. So that's why I think it's good to dabble in a little bit of everything. Just so not only for yourself to grow, because you might learn something from other people when you're helping them out, but it's also helpful for a friend that might need your help as well. You know, this is a good thing about being creative, man. It connects us together, but at the same time, we have our own solo movies to go through. That's why when you see my tab of my suggestions on which is Jeremy and Alex and Andy Signor, is this Creative Avengers.
Yeah, I like that.
We all have our own solo things, but when we get together, we're Avengers.
Yeah, and I think collaborations and doing other stuff with other people is a good way to help build each other up. That's why we do this show every week. So thank you for your question, and thank you guys so much for watching this video of Ask Alex. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, where we get all the updates of every time I'm releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. Ian, where can we find you on social media?
Social media, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _controversy. And yeah, please, if you want to discuss anything, movies, television, or hip hop, let me know. But I will not get in any entanglement with anybody. I love my girlfriend.
That's a good one. Yeah, ain't no entanglements coming over here. Jeremy, where can we find you at on social media?
Check out Jeremy Be Terrible on Twitter and Instagram. And we're going to go ahead and get the rumor mill started right now. Let's make it to where Jada Pinkett Smith gets cast as the villain in the next Fast and Furious franchise. Started here. First murmur of it happened on the Ask Alex show. Let's make that happen. Yeah, and check out Movies Are Terrible on YouTube.
Okay, Universal, if you that would be, not only would it be epic, but it would be hilarious. I would buy 5 tickets to go see that. But yes, please, guys, go follow my co-hosts' stuff. They do a lot of cool stuff on their channels, and they make a lot of funny content as well. So please hit them up. And also, you can always come back here at Momentum Media, where we're dropping a lot of content. Stay tuned for this month, because I'm going to be putting out a lot more content than just Ask Alex. So really stay tuned for what we're doing here. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, go ahead.
Alex, before we leave, I wanted to challenge both of you guys. Since me and Jeremy just became monetized, and Alex, you're on your way. I want to challenge both of you guys. Next week, let's do a video a day. Let's get confused. I challenge both of you guys. A video a day. Doesn't matter what the content is, but a video a day for 7 days straight. I challenge Alex. I challenge Jeremy. I challenge myself. I don't know what the price is going to be. I'll think about it, but I challenge you guys. Let's get Alex monetized.
All right.
Okay.
Alex, you can edit this out and post if we don't do it, right?
You know what, Ian? I'm saying it right here on my show. I accept your challenge. And see now you don't started something that I'm about to start working on as soon as we sign off. So thank you guys for watching this video. Stay tuned for more content, literally coming out Monday through Sunday of next week. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, have a blessed day.